Hello students. In the last lecture, we have discussed about basic concepts of microeconomics. In today's session, we are going to start with the second branch of economics, that is macroeconomics. The term macroeconomics is derived from Greek word macros. Macro means large or aggregate or total. Therefore, it studies the entire economy, such as total employment, national income, national output, total investment, total savings, aggregate supply, aggregate demand, etc. Let us discuss the definition of macroeconomics. This definition is given by Professor Kenneth Boulding. According to him, macroeconomics deals not with the individual quantities as such, but with the aggregates of these quantities. Not with the individual incomes, but with the national income. Not with the individual prices, but with the general price level. Not with the individual output, but with the national output. From this definition, it is clear that macroeconomics studies not individual economic units like a household or a firm. It studies the whole economic system. Now, let us discuss the basic concepts of macroeconomics. In that, first one is national income. The study of macroeconomics is very important for evaluating the overall performance of the economy in terms of national income. Now, national income means total income of a country. In economic sense, national income is the monetary value of all final goods and services produced in an economy during a year. In other words, the final outcome of all the economic activities, that is rent, wages, interest and profit of the nation during a period of 1 year, valued in terms of money, is called as national income. Second one is saving. Savings, it is that part of income which is set aside to satisfy the future needs by foregoing current consumption. Means saving, it is that part of income which is left over after spending. Our third concept is investment. It refers to creation of capital assets through mobilization of savings. An investment is a monetary asset purchased with the idea that the asset will provide income in the future or will later be sold at a higher price for a profit. For example, making investment by purchasing plot of land, machinery, shares, equipments, etc. Our fourth concept is trade cycle. A trade cycle refers to fluctuation in economic activities. There are ups and downs in overall economic activities, and these ups and downs means fluctuations which is caused by inflation and depression. First, inflation means continuous rise in general price level of goods and services. Means more money is needed to get the same amount of goods and services. And next one is depression. The opposite of inflation is depression. Depression is a continuous fall in overall prices of goods and services. In general, lowering down of economic activity. It is a slowdown in economic activity over the course of a normal business cycle. During the depression, the level of productivity falls and the rate of unemployment increases. Next concept is economic growth. Economic growth means an increase in the real national income of the country over a long period of time. It means an increase in the production of a country from one period of a time to another period of time. So it is a quantitative concept and it is measured in terms of national income and per capita income. Next and last concept is economic development. Economic development is a wider concept. Economic development indicates economic growth plus progressive change in certain important variables which determine well-being of the people. It includes improved living standard of the people, schools, hospitals, and infrastructural changes in the country. So it is a wider concept and it has a qualitative dimension. Therefore, my dear students, always keep this in mind. Economic growth is possible without economic development, but economic development is not possible without economic growth. Thank you.